today we're going to do a bit of self-rescue practice, just practice capsizing the kayak, getting back on the kayak, trying to do it as quickly as we possibly can so that if we ever do get into trouble we're very comfortable with the boat and we know that we're going to be able to self-rescue. Everyone should practice this really at least once a year, or when they get a new boat. As soon as you get a new boat you should be out there getting yourself confident and comfortable with that boat. Why do we need to do it? It's because one day every one of us will come off the kayak, and especially in the UK, if you're at sea, you don't want to be in the water for very long, it's cold. You'll start suffering from hypothermia and start slowing down very, very quickly. So it's important to be confident that when you need to get back on that kayak, you can get back on that kayak quickly and safely. So the conditions are pretty benign. These aren't the conditions that you're going to come off the kayak on in real life. You're going to be out there with tide or swell. But it's still useful to do this just to sort of practice and get confident on it. What I'm going to do is go out, basically fall off the kayak, capsize the kayak. It's good as well because you can learn the tipping point of the kayak, where it's actually going to go, so you get used to the boat. Once I'm in the water, people have got different techniques of doing this, but what I like to do is to reach under the boat to find the handle on the opposite side, and then I'll lift the near side of the boat and flip the kayak so it's back on upright. Once it's upright, you're basically just trying to launch yourself across the middle of the kayak, grab hold of the far side and pull yourself on. There's nothing pretty about it, but it gets you back on the kayak. You look a bit like a sort of floundering seal. But once you're on there, get yourself comfortable, get the centre of gravity back on, and you can just spin yourself back round and you're in the seat again. A lot of people tie stuff to the boat. If you've got 3 or 4 rods leashed to the boat, you've got anchors leashed to the boat, you've got everything you own leashed to the boat, when you come over it's a very different kettle of fish because the kayak will be upside down. You'll have rods, lines, everything just dangling underneath the kayak, and if there's a lot of tide, that can cause you problems. You're probably going to end up cutting that stuff away. If you do leash stuff to the boat regularly, then I would suggest you go out and practice in a group, in tide, with broomsticks or something leashed onto the boat, something you don't mind if it gets wet, and just see what it's like to actually have the boat upside down with 4 or 5 items flowing around in the tide with rope everywhere. And just, again, make sure you're confident and comfortable getting back in that situation. For me, it's not an issue. If I go over, the rods are gone, I'm afraid. You'll see that I'm in a full dry suit. In the UK, if you're fishing in the ocean, 90% of your time you're going to be in a full dry suit. Even in the summer, our water is cold. So you're dressing for immersion. You're always dressing, thinking that you're going to end up in the water at some point. If it's very, very hot and I'm in a group, yes, I will go out in sort of paddle pants and life jacket. 90% of what I do is in full dry suit. Obviously we wear the PFD, which is essential. You'd have to be mad to go out in the water without wearing one of those. I haven't got it all with me today, but in the UK as well, we'll have a VHF radio, and I always carry a PLB, which is like a bat signal life beacon, just in case I do get into trouble when I'm on my own. When you do this, you'll realise quite how tiring it is. So I'll probably get on and off the kayak maybe 6 or 7 times today. I don't do this often enough. I do this once a year, twice a year. And it is amazing how quickly you do get out of breath. And again, today it's benign. There's no swell, there's no wind, there's no tide. If you aren't getting on that kayak in the first or second attempt, then you're going to start losing your energy very, very quickly, and it becomes more difficult to get back on the kayak, which again is one of the reasons we practice. You want to be on that kayak as soon as you possibly can once you get in the water. So what we'll do is I'll go out there, I'll capsize the kayak. I'll be in the water next to the kayak, obviously with the kayak upside down. The way I do it, a lot of people have got different ways of doing it, but what I'll do, the way I've always found easy, is I'll reach underneath the kayak and find the handle on the far side, then just lift the near side of the kayak and just flip the thing over. You want to get everything out of the way, so what I'll usually do is just throw the paddle over to the other side so it's not in my way when I'm trying to get back on or trying to flip the kayak. Then, once it's upright, just take your time, get your breath. You're just going to basically kick yourself over the middle of the kayak into a sort of cockpit. Once you're on it, again, you can take your time. You just want to get yourself centered so that you're stable again. And you can just spin yourself around and you're back in the seat and you're ready to carry on. So again, it's just confidence. It's about learning how your boat reacts in different water and just being confident that you're in a position where you can go out there safely. If you know these things, if you're confident with your self-rescue, you'll enjoy yourself a lot more when you are out there because you haven't always got it on the back of your mind, what if. That's not how you land. We don't want that in there.